Hi guys, it's Hot Mess Mama. It's Wednesday. It's my Zen day. Woohoo! I love Wednesdays because it's like the middle of the week. Tuesdays always seem to be my most horrific days. Wednesdays are like my Zen days where like I do my yoga, I get my wheatgrass, I get myself back together and re-energized to finish off the rest of the week. And I also do my Facebook Lives on Wednesday about hacks, usually about hacks and stuff like that. And I had gotten a message from one of our followers, Miss Lizzie, that she said, I've got this great tip. Next time you do a Facebook Live on hacks, you should show this. So I think it was a really great tip and I wanted to show that, and props to Miss Lizzie. She is a super, super dynamic woman who has really reinvented herself, changed her whole lifestyle, and has become this like super healthy, fit guru, loving mother. And she's always got some great tips, but she's kind of doing the macros and she's watching what she eats and she's doing a lot of weight training and stuff like that. So she really is measuring and trying to eat healthy, and she's trying to impart those, habits in her two little girls. So we're going to be talking about food hacks today. These are like food hacks for kids. Because, sometimes we just need a few shortcuts or some things that will help us as moms to get our kids, get their meals cooked fast and to like get them to eat something, right? Because like, I always feel like I'm struggling just to get them to eat anything that isn't somehow processed, fried, or come out of some sort of cellophane bag. Even our cheese sticks, for goodness sake, are, wrapped in plastic. So we came up with a couple of ideas, some things that we could do to help our kids eat a little healthier and kind of cut some shortcuts so that moms can cook them and get food on the table faster. So Lizzie's tip was, what she does is, she says it cuts down on her prep time, pretty significantly. What she does is she gets a shaker, like a protein shaker, like an athletic shaker, the ones that have these little balls in them. And she cracks a bunch of eggs in them, 6-8 eggs in them or whatever. And she puts them in her shaker, and she seasons them with salt, pepper, whatever. And she shakes, or even has her daughters join in the fun, shaking up the eggs. And they keep them in the fridge, pre-shook and pre-seasoned, if you will, so that in the morning when they wake up, all they need to do is pop open this little thing, and she can make scrambled eggs for her daughter, right? Or she can make an omelet for herself. And then, throw in whatever mix-in she wants. But this is like cuts back on her, I have to get a bowl, I have to get a fork, I have to whisk this stuff, I have to season the eggs and all of that kind of stuff. She like has it all prepped, and she literally can just go pour when she needs to have them. And on her, her water bottle or her shaker bottle has the little notches in it that tells you how many ounces or how many, grams or whatever, so she knows exactly how much she's pouring, so she knows how many, she can count her macros that way, which I think is pretty brilliant. So then she can figure out like how many eggs did I just eat and how many macros is that, and how many calories and how much protein and all that. So I thought that was pretty brilliant. So kudos to her for this. Great tip on, cutting some corners and saving some time in the morning when you need to make some eggs. Because you know what, believe it or not, kids are pretty good about eating, scrambled eggs, especially if you throw some cheese on them. And that's a really good source of protein, really good lean protein. And don't believe all, remember there was a while where all the FDA and all those food people were saying, oh, eggs are so terrible for you, they're full of cholesterol. Now they're saying they're really not horrible for you at all. If anything, they're really, really good for you. So that's a really great tip. I will also say that what I do is I make my kids smoothies. Instead of like making a fresh smoothie every morning, I'm like, I will blend up a big pitcher of it, and I, in my smoothies, I usually put some kind of, bunch of fruits. I put in the organic protein powder that's kid safe. And I put in vegetables because like I'm trying to get my kids to eat vegetables, and it's really hard to get them to eat vegetables. And my son, not so much. The kid eats freaking okra, but my daughter, on the other hand, like she's just not. It's hard to get veggies into that child. So, you know what you can disguise in these smoothies? Spinach is really easy to disguise in smoothies. So is kale. And carrot juice is really sweet. That can be easily disguised when you throw carrot juice into a smoothie with, bananas and strawberries, or if they don't even detect it. Or avocados too. Did you know like in some cultures that like they eat avocados like at dessert time? They put honey and they mash up their avocados and honey and like some cream and, kind of make it, it's very, very sweet to them. You can mix it with chocolate. And it kind of, it has a chocolatey flavor. I know that my son used to do smoothies with just avocado and bananas and some milk. And it's a great source of protein, good omegas, good fats. So again, these are all things that you can do, and you throw them in your blender, put them into your shaker bottle. So like you can make like a big pitcher. And this probably, it has a little shaker thing in it, so you can kind of shake it before you serve it to your kids. This probably will hold, I don't know, I would say maybe 2 to 3 servings for my kids. for my daughter. She's the one I'm always pushing the smoothies on because I need to get her to eat her veggies. So I could probably get, good 3, almost 4 servings out of one of these. And I just make one on Monday, and I can get her smoothies Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? That's one tip with the shaker, right? So the other trick that I wanted to talk to you about was we talked a little bit about blending the eggs in there, right? Now, my son and my daughter, they love scrambled eggs. Great, they love omelets, they love all that kind of stuff. But my son also really enjoys hard-boiled eggs. I know that that's like bizarre, right? Like I said, my kid likes freaking okra, but he has a hard time peeling the shells. And so I saw this hack and I was like, oh, this is brilliant because this will empower him to do this himself and feel some sort of accomplishment and kind of bring some novelty back into breakfast. So we all have these. These are like a little, Tupperware snap. It's where this is a Sistema one that we put our kids' lunches in and stuff and pack our Tupperware in. Hard-boiled egg into the Tupper. A little warm water. Seal the Tupperware. Seal it. Try to get yourself a Tupperware that has got some serious leak proofageness, if that's a word. And you literally shake it. I'm shaking it over my sink. You just shake the water in the egg, a hard-boiled egg, right? I don't know if you can see this. I'll show you. Can you see that? That literally the hard-boiled egg has been peeled in this box. All of the shells are in the box and have cleaned the egg completely. That's one of my favorite hacks because it's so easy and my kid doesn't have to struggle with peeling it. Literally, this is done. All I need to do now is dry it off and hand it to him, and he'll get some salt and he'll be good to go, right? So that's another really great. And then, you know what? You just dump the peels down your garbage disposal. Done. You know what? And that's, perfect. My kid will even eat hard-boiled eggs for lunch, but I have to peel them because, he can't have peels at school when that's, during lunchtime. But anyway, so that's my tip on hard-boiled egg peeling. Another one, this is one, I don't know, I've had mom show this to me. I was like, this is pretty brilliant. Okay, our kids, especially when they're little in these juice boxes, they squeeze them so hard, they spill everywhere, right? So how do you teach your child to kind of gently hold the juice box? There are all sorts of, I think, products that you can put, it's like a plastic product that you can put over this that has handles on it that keep your kid from squeezing the thing too hard, right? Why do that when you could blast off on an airplane? You just flipped the size of the box up like this and tell the kid when he wants to take the drink not to hold the box, but to hold the airplane wings. And so that way they won't squeeze the box. Pretty brilliant, right? And then as they get older and they get a little bit more accustomed to it, they can learn to hold the box themselves. But when you're first starting out with these juice boxes, the wings are the way to go. I wish that I could give my kids Capri Sun because Capri Sun is so fun. Remember when we were kids? Remember they didn't have those little foil stamps on them though. We had to really jam those straws in because they didn't have any kind of cheat hole on it. And man, that was hard. And we made a big mess with those Capri Suns, and I just don't trust any of my kids with the Capri Sun unless I'm there to open it. But even then, those ones are even worse than this because they have nothing to hold on to, right? So that is my tip with the juice box. Yogurt sticks. Our kids love them. These yogurt sticks that we get, we get them in bulk or whatever, and we put them in our kids' lunch boxes. Did you know that you could take these yogurt sticks and you can freeze them? And so instead of sending your kid to school with a lunchbox that has to have an ice pack in it to keep the things cold, to keep them from, kind of spoiling, you put these in your freezer. And then before you send them off to school in the morning, you put one of these in their lunchbox. And by lunchtime, it will have defrosted and it can be eaten. And it will act as a cooling device inside your lunchbox. Pretty darn cool, right? Hey, Lizzie, I already talked about your cool egg scramble shaker thing. Thank you for that tip. So what else do we have for you? Okay, grapes. Our kids love grapes because they're like little sugar bombs. And they're great. You can put them in your freezer, right? And then serve them to them. So if your grapes start to go, you're like, oh gosh, I got all these grapes. What am I going to do with them? You can put them in your freezer, right? And you can pull them out and they can eat them like little ice cubes. You can put them. You can actually even put them in your drinks and stuff to not dilute them down. So if you want to drink a glass of wine and you don't want to dilute it down, but it's not chilled yet, you can throw frozen grapes in there. But my kids like to eat those as snacks in the summertime because they're nice, frozen, refreshing, right? But most kids, when they're little, they can't chew or break the seal of a whole grape. They need to have their grape sliced, right? And so like you're like, oh great, I have a play date coming up, and now I've got all these kids, and I have to slice a million freaking grapes in half, right? So you get 2 plates. These are like, you know, what we call bread and butter plates, you know, or like, you know, they're almost kind of like coasters for your coffee cups or your teacups or whatever. You get 2 plates, and you take the first, and they're the same size. First plate, you turn upside down, and you set it down. Then you take your grapes, and you put your grapes on top of that plate. Let's see if you can see this, okay? So you take your upside down plate, put your grapes on top of it. And then you take your second plate and put the second plate on top of that. The right side up, right? And then you take a knife and you literally run it, but not on top, but like, imagine I'm running the knife through the plate. Running the knife through the plate, like you're putting a little pressure here, running the knife through the plate, and it slices all your grapes all at one time. So none of this getting on a cutting board and cutting one by one by one. You literally just, see if I can do this without, I don't think I'll be able to do this without breaking it, but like literally take your little knife here like this, and there you go. All your grapes are cut in one fall swoop, okay? So that was a really cool trick that I remember learning with my first son. That's about grapes. So, bananas. Notice how my banana's a little bit brown. Apologies. I'm not one of those banana. I don't know about you, Lizzie. Are you one of those people that has to have a banana that is like still green? Like has to be like snaps when you peel it off like that. It's still green and it's really, yeah. I can't eat them like that because I don't feel like they're sweet enough. I don't like the texture in my mouth. So I like to wait till mine get a little bit brown or spotty. And this is kind of, you know, beyond brown and spotty, but it looks worse than it is, right? When you get to this point where your bananas start to go, don't throw them out. Number one, you can always make banana bread with them, right? Number two, you can freeze them for later use. Did you know that? You peel the banana and you slice the banana into, you know, pieces, not long ways, but pieces. And you put like, you know, 1 or 2 of them in a Ziploc bag, put them in your freezer. You can pull them out whenever you need. Just mark the Ziploc bag, 1 banana, 2 bananas, right? So that if you want to make a banana bread or if you want to make banana cookies or, you know, some recipe that calls for bananas. And lots of people use bananas when they're like trying to be fit, right, Lizzie? Because they can use that as a substitute for things. They can put them in, you know, protein shakes. They can put them in oatmeal. They can put them into anything. But I know what I think is really cool about not freezing your bananas. Number one is that you can reuse. You can pull out the bananas later when you need to use them, which are already portion controlled in their Ziploc bags. But did you know this is also a really great tip that like if you want your kids to start eating a little healthier, that you can make ice cream on bananas. Like literally, you have your frozen bananas in the freezer, right? You pull them out, put them in put them in a cup like this or whatever. The frozen bananas that are already chopped up. Throw in just a splash of milk and then like maybe peanut butter or maybe some cocoa powder or maybe some berries or something like that, right? And then you use an immersion blender and it makes like a soft serve and it tastes like a banana ice cream. It's beautiful. Like I love making this with like peanut butter bananas. It's like, yeah, right? And then it's just such a healthier alternative and it kind of has that mock flavor of ice cream and it's just really healthy and a good way for you to get rid of your old bananas. You have 4 different banana stages of people in your house. Oh, see, like that's the nightmare. Like when you have someone who's like, I won't touch the brown ones. And you have someone else that's like, has to be like, I want you to pick it off the tree, right? So, yeah. So, but they go well in protein shakes. They go well in oatmeal. They go well in pancakes. They go well in breads. They go well in cookies. Speaking of which, of cookies. So you got my ice cream tip with the frozen bananas and, you know, a little bit of milk and peanut butter or, you know, berries or cocoa powder or something like that. There's also a really easy recipe, and I'll pin these up, or you know, on my post or whatever, or I'll put it on my blog. FYI, I have a blog now. We're getting big time now. So there is, if you have, you know, bananas that are overly ripe, you can mash them. Like you mash like 1 banana, and I think it's like half a cup of oats, like quick cooking oats, like, you know, Quaker quick cook oats. It's like you like put like a half cup of those oats in there and you put like a banana in there. You mash banana, mix them all together. Then you can put tossins in there if you want to, like peanut butter or cranberries or chocolate chips or dairy-free chocolate chips or, you know, nuts or whatever, peanut butter powder, like cinnamon, you know, all sorts of, whatever kind of toss, coconut, shavings, whatever kind of tossins that you want to have in. But the base is like a banana and like, I think it's either 2 bananas and a cup of quick coats, and then your mix-ins, and you mix it all in. That's it. You don't put anything else in there. No eggs, no flour, no nothing. And then you just scoop them onto a cookie sheet, and you bake it at like 350 for like 15 minutes. And they end up tasting like almost like an oatmeal cookie, like a banana oatmeal cookie. And the kids love it. And those are a great grab for breakfast. Like you can put protein powder in these if your protein powder, is good for, cooking or baking. Like my organic protein powder is suitable for that. Some of the protein powders that have other chemicals in it can be, you can lose their efficacy when you heat them to extremes. But my organic protein powder that I've talked about before is safe to bake with. So yeah. Really good grab and go snack for the kids. They think it's a cookie, and you can store them, in your refrigerator in an airlocked, air sealed, container like a Tupperware or whatever for at least a good week or so. So that's another good option for some bananas. Then I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about bananas. The other thing you can do, which I thought was really kind of cute, they talk about like if you have a bunch of kids and they have their bananas or whatever, and you don't want to get them mixed up, or if you just as a novelty want to do something cute, you can take like green banana, like you said, and get like a toothpick, and you can kind of carve really carefully your kid's name in the banana, and like in the next day when they wake up, the brown will have soaked into the grooves that you wrote. It's almost like you carved, and it'll show their name. And I thought that was really cute, because I thought, hey, that's kind of a novel idea, right? But I don't know how many of you send your kids off to school with a banana like this, because I don't trust that, because that's going to get demolished in a backpack. So, but anyways, cute idea though. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about some gadgets really quick that I have used in the past, for my kids. I was in a stage where I didn't want to be using, I thought I wanted to be a little bit greener with the earth, and I didn't want to be disposing all of those, applesauce pouches, and I didn't want, I wanted to be able to make my own organic foods and my own organic applesauce, and I wanted to be able to make my own yogurts and flavor them and stuff like that. And, my kids were little, and so they were eating everything out of a pouch at that point, right? So they have these, and this is just one brand. This one's called Nature's Little Squeeze. They're these they're pouches, and they're reusable, and they're dishwasher safe. And so literally you like make whatever it is that you want to, like you want to make your own applesauce, you want to make a smoothie, you want to make, I don't know, you want to make oatmeal, you want to make something in there or whatever, and you can put it, and you open up, it's like a Ziploc on the bottom, and you put your food in the, and you pour it in here, right, or whatever, and then you seal it like a Ziploc bag, like this, and you have yourself a pouch, right, and then you just twist the top on like this, just like you would a regular pouch. And the cool thing about these, like I said, is they're dishwasher safe and they're freezer safe, and they have like no PVC or BPA or anything like that. And I mean, they're green and they're healthy for the environment. And these caps, if you ever lose these caps, the regular caps that you get on your, Walmart brand applesauce fit these, so if you ever lose these. But I thought that these were really great, because I was able to, mix and match foods and create foods that my daughter liked, that I knew were chemical free when she was little, and my son too. But yeah, these are a great product, and they come in different sizes. So like this is like a smaller size for the littles, and then they have a bigger one. Anyways, I can give you some links to this if you're interested, But again, this was kind of a lifesaver when my kid wasn't really proficient yet with a spoon. Then there is this really cool, hey Katie, how you doing? She's probably got some good tips. She's got a bunch of girls that she's had to go through all of this baby stuff with. There's just another product that I found that was out there. Like I wanted to be able to make my kid his own popsicles, because it was summertime and I didn't want to have him eating all of those dyes and colors and stuff. This is what I was like, a really freaky mom at one point, where I was like, no, everything's got to be organic. Nope, it's got to come from my hands. Nope, it's got to come from the ground. Okay, and then reality set in, and we eat at Chick-fil-A and eat ice cream and grilled cheese with processed cheese bread. Shit happens, moms. Okay, so anyways, this is a product I wanted to make my own popsicles, and so I could freeze orange juice, or I could blend my own strawberries, or I could put some yogurt in there and have like yogurt pops and all of that stuff. And I thought it was the coolest thing, because they're like, rubber or plastic or whatever, and they're BPA free, and they're like this, and they're different colors, so you can get like a dozen of them or whatever, and the top pops off. And you fill it. You just fill it with whatever filling you want, and then you put the top back on it like this. It kind of snaps back on. I feel like I'm putting a condom on. Anyways, and then you just put it in your freezer, and then you keep them in the freezer. And like I said, they're dishwasher safe, BPA free. They're like really good to the environment and all of that stuff. And then I thought about it after I used these for a season or two. You could also, I think I'm going to try this summer. We could make some wine popsicles, or champagne popsicles, margarita. Daiquiri, dare I say? Yes. So yes, and they are shatter resistant. you know, and you're not going to be finding sticks everywhere. My only concern with this is that sometimes these are hard to keep track of. Some of the newer models have like a flip top so that you don't actually lose the top, but all the parts are dishwasher safe and they're easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And like I said, you can make I made like popsicles for my kids with like coconut water and mint, and pineapple. And I really like those too because they were really refreshing after a workout because you need the electrolytes, and coconut water is a really natural way to get your electrolytes. So again, this is a great thing. And you know what else you can put in here, what I thought was really cool? Snacks. Like if you want to put trail mix in here or Cheerios in here or any kind of like small snacks, you can do that and use it. It's got double duty. It doesn't have to be a freezer thing. You could use it for other things as well, right? Like I'm thinking like pretzel sticks so they don't get crushed. I mean, like, yeah, this was a good buy. So, all right, so that's what we talked about. We talked a little bit about how to do some shortcuts with scrambled eggs, with hard-boiled eggs, with juice boxes, yogurt sticks, grapes, bananas, reusable pouches, reusable popsicle things, mommy popsicles. Yep, so that's what I got for you today. Katie, do you have any really cool tricks that you used when your kids were younger or still do use that are kind of life-saving, you know, maybe shortcuts that help you in the kitchen or, you know, tips and tricks for us? No, yeah, Lizzie, it is. These are all phases that we go through, but you know what? I kind of find myself reverting. Like my kid, you know, when they were little and they couldn't use spoons, this was all that they could handle. But even now, though, they love to eat applesauce out of here, you know, and to be able to make like an apple strawberry blend is always, you know, nice. Or to be able to control what goes into these pouches. Like if I wanted to throw yogurt in there or protein powder in there, I could do that to get a little extra nutrition into them because, you know, growing minds. So those are all the kind of kid food hacks I have for the day. Thank you, Lizzie, for giving me the inspiration. Thank you for joining. You too, Katie. Please, you know, share this with others and comment and like and heart and put in some of your ideas and ask others to do as well, and share these on your pages so that I can get some more feedback so I can help myself and some other moms with some additional shortcuts. And like I said, I do have a blog now, and I'll probably be posting some more detailed information on that blog, you know, with regards to, you know, some of these products or some of, you know, recipes or stuff like that. And my blog link is in my Facebook page. So, and there will be another wine tasting Friday night, 5 o'clock Eastern time. We are tasting wines with Easter candy. We're talking Peeps, people. Peeps, we're talking Cadbury eggs. This is like quintessential Easter stuff. And the stuff we need to know, especially if we're going to be hanging with family this Easter. We're going to need to know what kind of wines to eat with all that candy, because sometimes you just need a little. That's survival, people. All right. Have a great Wednesday. Big hugs to you guys, moms. Keep momming. Hang in there. You're doing awesome. Talk to you soon.